Hey everyone, today I want to go through an introduction to ratios. So ratios are pretty much fractions in a sense. So it says, what is a ratio? A ratio is basically the relationship between the amount of two things. So the relationship between the amount of two things. And then, does order matter when writing a ratio? Yes, order is very important, as you will see when we write a ratio. Whatever they ask for first in the ratio must come first when you write the ratio. So there are different ways to write ratios. We can write them with words. We can write them using a colon. We can write them using a fraction bar. And we can write something to, using the word to, something else. So I'm going to give you an example. So the first example I have here are some piano keys. So we're going to look at the amount, or the ratio rather, of black keys to white keys in this picture. Well, in this picture, I see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black keys, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white keys. Now I'm specifically going to write the ratio of black keys to white keys. So my ratio has to follow that as I write it. So we said that I had 5 black keys. So if I were to write this ratio in words, I would write, for every 5 black keys, there are, and we said there's 7 white keys. Now to write that ratio using a colon, I have to go in the same order that I'm in my word form. So the 5 has to come first, since it comes first in the original statement. So 5 to 7, this is read 5 to 7. I can write it with a fraction bar, since a ratio basically is a fraction. Or I can write it as 5 to 7. So those are the different ways I can write a ratio. Let's look at another one. So here I have an apartment building. And for this one, we're going to compare the number of doors to the number of windows. You'll always be told what you're comparing in a ratio. So they will say the number of doors to the number of windows, or they'll tell you the number of windows to the number of doors. They will tell you which one comes first and which one comes second. In this case, we're going to do the number of doors, which are 2, to the number of windows, which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 windows. So here in words, for every 2 doors, there are 26 windows. Because I did doors first, that number has to go first. Write it as a fraction. And then with the word 2. Now, let's say I wanted to do every 1 door. Could I do 1 door? I can actually for this one, because I can look at my numbers, since we treat it like a fraction. I can look and say, okay, is there a number I can divide both of these by? And I actually can divide them both by 2. So I could say an equivalent ratio, to my 2 to 26 would be 1/13, or 1 to 13. So that could also, or here, for every 1 door, there are 13 windows, which makes sense because I'm just splitting it in half. So no different than if I were to take my picture and split this building straight down the middle, I would have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 windows to one door. So sometimes you'll be asked to simplify a ratio. Here I have, what is the ratio between individual exercise to watching TV and videos in teens? Well, if I look down my teen column here, individual exercise is what they ask for first in my ratio questions. That'll be my first number. Individual exercise is 150. Watching TV and videos is 1200. So when I write my ratio, it's going to be the 150 first. So in words, for every 150 teens, doing individual exercise, there are 1200 watching videos. And then again, I can write my ratios just as I did before. And so that is how you write ratios.